Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so guys, we got to get a little bit caught up on a today's tarot topic for the first, excuse me, for the January the 2nd, and then today, January the 3rd. I apologize, I didn't get that out last night. I had a little rough flare up again with my asthma, and so I have learned it's better just to tap out for a day and rest so I can come back the next day and usually feel a lot better, and I do. So I might cough a little bit in this, but for the most part, I feel quite a bit improved. So sorry that that happens, especially at certain seasons. I feel like I have to say that an awful lot because I'll miss days and stuff. But c'est la vie. I'm just delighted to be here. And happy full moon, happy wolf moon. I just posted a collective message for the wolf moon that turned out to be an amazing energy shift for the divine masculine. So if you didn't see that one, make sure it pops up at the end of the screen on this. So for the message for the second, I know the second is over, right? That was yesterday. I'm in a time zone, Pacific time zone, so I'm in on the third right now. But we still want to touch base on what was the energy for the second. And it says Five of Pentacles and unconditional love. This card has no other meaning or no other place in the tarot deck. It's an additional card. It doesn't have a corresponding, card to the Rider Waite. So that also is like a message just coming in from the divine. So yesterday could have been a day that a character was getting geared up or being, pulled in by that wolf moon to say, the wolf moon's about to be here. Wolf moons or full moons as a whole. And by the way, this is also a super moon. It's a time for introspection, reflection, and oftentimes a time to let things go. And it's interesting because this doorway was opened up yesterday, and we see this feminine kind of all cuddled up here in the snowy scenario, and the moon is like beckoning her, saying, why don't you walk through this door where things are no longer a frozen tundra? Why don't you surrender some kind of feeling of being out in the cold? Why don't you instead step into this much softer, brighter energy and realize that there is unconditional love around you, for you, and that you yourself also are capable of offering unconditional love. And if you do that, then you can let go of the feeling of, well, I loved someone, how come nothing came back to me? I'm not saying she was like, before being, it was conditional, like I gave them this, they better give me that. I don't mean it like that, but it just says that something about the gearing up for this full moon today began yesterday. And the energy of a full moon usually like spans one day on either side at least. But it looks like there was this little tug, the moon was highlighting, don't be out in the cold, don't feel that way. There is so much more love and support around you. And that's like the message was coming down through the moon. Now, in the Ojibwe language, they call the moon Nokumis, which means grandmother moon. And I talked about that a lot in that collective message. So if you're interested in a little bit more about that, you can check that one out. But I feel like maybe it was a message from like an ancestor or from the grandmother moon, however we want to look at that. We have the Six of Pentacles and we have the Temperance. God, I feel like our character was really feeling a shift yesterday, a shift toward a sense of peace. I don't know, maybe a character took some time, took a nice, bath, took a walk by the river, spent time and felt more connected. We see in a lot of like angel wings here and here. We see somebody who maybe found a sense of peace on the second. Maybe surrendered some things, maybe felt like they stepped away from a feeling of loss and stepped into a sense of understanding that perhaps my river of life has brought me to where I'm supposed to be. Perhaps I am receiving a lot of the things that I need. Maybe I was focused on the one thing that I didn't have, which could have been a person, could have been a lover, could have been, someone that they had wanted. But I think our character said, but wait a second, I'm being urged to pay attention to the fact that maybe there's a lot of other support and a lot of other love that I have. Love of friends, love of neighbors, love of family. And maybe that replaces the fact that, okay, so perhaps I'm out in the cold from a lover. Perhaps things weren't going well with them, but does that mean that I have no other source around me of, nurturing or sustenance? No. In fact, there's a lot that surrounds me. There's a lot of, peace and kindness around me. And I feel like our character just found a sense of soothed energy yesterday. So the second could have actually been a very good day, specifically for a divine feminine. She may have let go of a feeling of lack and just felt a sense of calm come over her on the second. Okay, we're going to leave that there, and I want to shift over now to the energy for today. The third, which of course is the day that we are celebrating this super moon, this full moon, this wolf moon, also known as the Great Spirit Moon. So let's take a peek. We have a 9 of Pentacles today. We have a 6 of Cups. We have the 4 of Cups. So again, we are beginning with the image of a divine feminine, but I never read for genders, so do bear that in mind. So we have someone in a place of empowerment, a sense of security, a sense of like knowing that they have this wonderful like abundance around them. And this could be like the abundance that we have within ourselves, the knowledge that, I'm talented, I have a good brain, I can grow things, build things, learn things. I have that capability. Then we move into that 6 of Cups, and there is either a turn to nostalgia, or there is she's sitting in a really great empowered state and then thinking about someone that she cares about, thinking about, and this can be non-romantic as well as romantic individuals. We see like a whole host of everything from family to childhood friends to romantic partners. So she may be really thinking fondly of soulmates, but then she's also having some kind of a breakthrough about where have I told myself a story, an illusion about soulmates. And this could be about, certain soulmates that are still going to come back into my life, or certain soulmates that have to come back, or 3 of Swords. It's interesting because the illusion is that there's a heartbreak. For a while, she was still feeling a heartbreak. And on the 3rd, it says she is saying, maybe soulmates always find each other in different lifetimes, and they fulfill contracts. And sometimes they also will continue to fulfill contracts or have, like to be continued ... And they meet again later on in life. Maybe it's not about feeling heartbroken if some people are in our lives and then other people exit our lives for periods of time or for expanses. Maybe that's the way of the soulmate. We all have these lessons that we're learning, and sometimes we learn them together, and then sometimes we have to go off and learn in different classrooms, and then we meet up again at a different time. It feels like she's saying a soft farewell. We have 7 of Swords sideways. A soft farewell, but I'll see you again. I don't have to pine for you not being here. I don't have to be heartbroken. That's where the illusion is that somehow there has to be an expected timeline for someone to return, or the feeling of heartbreak or loss when they're gone. I think she's basically getting into an energy of like, I can be more relaxed. It's a little bit more easy come, easy go, because life is more like a figure 8. We wind away, we come back to center. We go on another adventure, we come back to center. It feels like she's more working with that undulating flow of how life goes, instead of this concept of either I have it or I don't, and then I'm sad. I have it and I'm happy. I don't, and then I'm sad. I think she's looking at it more like, oh, well, it's just for right now. We move through this pattern and then we come back around again, and we move through yet a different pattern and come back again. It's the acceptance of cycles, which is very appropriate for, by the way, for a moon message, because obviously the lunar cycle is what we're referring to. Okay, so this feels really nice. Let's stick with this moonlight deck for just a minute longer. I'm kind of loving this one. We get an Ace of Swords upright. We have a Knight of Pentacles. We have a Queen of Pentacles. So there is this moment of total clarity here for her, and a freedom from like a particular timeline expectation. Instead, she is saying everything is a spiral. Everything comes back around in circles. Everything will, like hands on a clock, will pass by this point again. That song, But Somehow I Know We'll Meet Again. God, I can't think who sings it. Very famous song, old song. That is on my mind. And I feel like this is the energy today, where a feminine is just saying, no matter how long something takes, I already know that things come back around when they're supposed to. I understand this now. She's in Queen of Cups energy. She's very satisfied, very loving. I will say Queen of Wands shifting into a Queen of Cups energy, or excuse me, Queen of Pentacles shifting into the Queen of Cups energy was the exact same scenario that we had in that collective message for the full moon. So just FYI. We have a Knight of Wands. She's more excited about adventure now. So on the 3rd, not only do we see this feminine saying, wait a minute, everything in life is just kind of like that infinity symbol, that figure 8. Everything is this cycle that undulates. Well, then I'm excited. I'm happy again. I get to have adventure. Maybe right now I am on an adventure and I just hadn't seen it that way. So what should I be paying attention to? I feel like this is a character asking the universe, like, what is this adventure that I'm currently on that I didn't even realize I was on? Sorry, my dog bark scared me. We have Queen of Wands. We have 5 of Pentacles. Right now, her adventure has much to do with great passion, great intellectual prowess as well. But that 5 of Pentacles says there's some kind of, I mean, this can be a sense of loss, but I don't think it's on her part. She's in a very empowered state. She's in a very colorful, I don't know if she's got some kind of stained glass or if she'll be painting something that looks like it's stained glass or, has like a sunlight catcher or something in her window that's little stained glass imagery or something. But she's realizing that on one hand, her adventure right now is that she's in a much more abundant and empowered state than other people around her. And her path may be crossing with other people for a reason. 10 of Wands and Temperance. I think she's going to play an instrumental role in someone else's life right about now. It could be she'll be meeting someone who's recently gone through an ending. Now, this could be a divine masculine. This could be somebody new entering into her world, someone who maybe has lost a lot, maybe someone who is lost a job, recently divorced, gone through some upheaval in their life, and they may already be in her periphery and she hasn't connected to them yet, but will shortly. It's somebody that she might be a beacon of light for. Sometimes we forget that our journey sometimes is about how we'll help others. Sometimes our journey isn't just about us. It's about those around us and how we interact with them just as they interact with us. We are not islands. We have 8 of Cups. I feel like she's going to be either, talk about a journey, she's going to be taking some kind of trip or changing something about her life, certainly in the next 3 months. But today starts the mindset shift that there's a reason why it feels like I'm at a point in my life where I've been at before. The same way, like I said, everything is a cycle, right? I've been here before, but this time maybe roles are reversed. So imagine if we've done a figure 8. At some point in time, we're headed north, and then we come around and now we're headed south. And then we go back north again, and then we go south again. It almost feels like sometimes we flip roles, Sometimes we're the person who's supposed to give to someone. Sometimes it's someone else going to give to us. And I feel like she's realizing that. This next chapter is she's the strong one, and she may meet somebody who has a lot of need. She may help them. She may bring them with her in a new adventure of her own. She may be walking away from an old identity of her own. Someone else has lost something, but she is choosing to walk away from something and maybe journey with somebody. This feels like it is a divine counterpart coming into her life. And it feels like on the 3rd, she's becoming aware of that. 9 of Wands in the world. She intuitively knows that this next adventure for her is a do-over, and she's about to play a different role. I don't know if she's already met this individual who's been at a disadvantage or if she will meet them shortly. It's more like the premonition type of energy, but she is aware that the roles have reversed. She is now the healed warrior. She is now the one on the top of the world. She is the one now in a position of power, and she is the one who can help somebody else. And I feel like that awareness is pretty awesome. It puts her into this position of wow, I never thought of myself as I'm the lead, or I'm the one who's achieved something. And right now, in this next cycle, I'm actually the one who has more to offer somebody. And I look forward to that. And it doesn't mean that she's just going to go scoop somebody up and, like, here, let me piggyback you through life. It's not that, though. It's the awareness that she is light in someone else's, murky moment. And that could feel really good to say, wow, I have a lot to share, literally, with the Three of Pentacles. This could end up being a collaboration that she does with someone. This could be, like I said, a relationship, a friendship, some kind of interaction that she shares with another person. I don't know if this is going to become a lover, but she has more soulmates that she's supposed to interact with. And the next one is, this could be a soulmate from a past life that she's only just now going to be meeting, but it puts into perspective the fact that someone else may have exited her life to make room for a different soulmate. And in this next context, she will be playing a different role in this new soulmate relationship that's showing up. And she's the one who has like some great ideas to, throw into the mix. I feel like this is going to be really exciting and really nice for her to feel like, gosh, I have all this purpose and I have this big role to play. And my storyline is beginning all over again today. Like, that's how this feels. Like, my story begins all over again today. It's going to be fun for her to see who she is in this next engagement. But there is a new soulmate about to enter her life who needs her energy. I love that for her. All right, real quick, let's go ahead and pull a card for someone whose birthday was on the 2nd of January, and then we'll do the 3rd. 2nd of January, we have an Ace of Wands. We have a Queen of Pentacles. Boy, that Queen of Pentacles wants to come up a ton right now. Maybe because it's Capricorn season, right? But that could be maybe some of that energy. An Ace of Cups. Okay, so we have passion, we have love, and we have creativity and abundance. This could be the year where a character really discovers a talent that they have, a hidden talent that they get really passionate about. I mean, maybe they're going to have little bonsai trees. Maybe they're going to do some kind of sidewalk art and painting and become very famous for that. All I can say is it's all about a labor of love. This is a very personal year for this character. And it's a year where their desires, their creativity, and the things that they enjoy could yield great financial abundance. So this could be a year where a character starts working in a career path that is what they love, and then that becomes what makes them money as well, which could be very nice. But overall, it's a year of personal satisfaction, self-love, and personal growth, which is pretty awesome to see. All right, and then for somebody whose birthday is on the 3rd, which is awesome because that would be also the full moon, we have the Hierophant, we have the Justice, and we have the Blank card. So 2 major arcana, and then that self-reflection or that identical mirrored image card. So Hierophant is Taurus, and then we got Libra on that Justice card. There's this huge awakening that things that have been wrong can now be looked at, can now be set right. It could also be that if this is somebody who's been married, they're realizing, you know what, maybe we both made some flubs here and there, but that also means we can take accountability and fix things. There's a real sense of, crown chakra awakening with the things that need to be refined. And it's like, oh, this is actually going to be something I personally can refine. It's exactly within my power to course correct some things so that I really create the life that I want to have, the love that I want to have, the story that I want to have. Huge empowerment for that. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you, everybody. Really nice to see you. Take care. Bye.